The day began like any other, a gentle start painted with the soft hues of dawn. The sun peeked over the horizon, casting long shadows across the fields. But by afternoon, a change had come, an unsettling shift in the atmosphere. The cheerful blue sky was slowly being consumed by a menacing darkness. The birds fell silent, their cheerful songs replaced by an eerie stillness. Even the rustling leaves seemed to hold their breath. And Arthur sat on his porch, sensing the world holding its breath, a primal awareness tingling in his bones. He watched the horizon, a seasoned observer of nature's moods. He knew this quiet was not peace. It was a deceptive facade, but the deep breath before the shout, the pregnant pause before the storm unleashed its fury. The sky darkened, the air grew heavy, thick with anticipation and the promise of rain. A tangible pressure settled over the land. Arthur went inside, seeking shelter from the impending tempest, closing windows, sealing the house against the coming onslaught, and securing shutters, a ritual performed countless times over the years, a dance between man and nature. Each action feeling heavier than usual, a weariness settling in his bones, a reminder of the years that had passed. The wind moaned, a low, sad sound, a mournful cry carried on the gathering breeze. As if something unstoppable was approaching, a force of nature indifferent to human concerns. He felt small against the coming storm, a solitary figure facing the immensity of nature's power. Moving through his quiet home, he glanced at photos, each one a portal to a different time. His late wife, her smile frozen in time, a constant presence in his memory. His distant children, scattered across the country, their lives unfolding far from this quiet corner of the world. The storm felt like a threat to these memories, a force that could wash away the past. Fear tiptoed in, disguised as nostalgia, a bittersweet ache for what was and what could never be again. Rain began to tap at the glass, a gentle prelude to the deluge that was to come. The world outside fading to grey, obscured by the thickening rain, the landscape dissolving into a blurry watercolor. The wind pressed harder, branches scraped the roof, a frantic scratching at the door. Arthur sat in his favorite chair, listening to the storm's true voice, a symphony of wind and rain. He knew what was coming. He had weathered many storms before. Howling winds tearing at the trees, a furious display of raw power. Driving rain, lashing against the windows, a relentless assault. Darkness enveloping the world, a thick, impenetrable blackness. He closed his eyes, listening to the beat of his own heart against the chaos, a steady rhythm in the face of the storm's fury. The house creaked, the storm grew louder, a cacophony of sound that filled the night. He remembered his wife's words, a comforting echo from the past. This old house has weathered worse, a testament to resilience and enduring strength. He gripped the arms of his chair, bracing for the night, a silent vow to face whatever came. The storm was just beginning, but so was his resolve, a quiet determination blooming in the face of adversity. Outside, the wind howled. Inside, Arthur waited, a beacon of calm in the heart of the storm. The first true test was not the storm, but facing it alone, confronting the solitude and the fear that gnawed at the edges of his heart. And so he waited, heart steady, a quiet strength radiating from within, as the wind's first whisper became a roar, a deafening crescendo of nature's power. The storm arrived as an invader, not a guest. Wind screamed, rain battered the house. Arthur felt the floor tremble, the house groan. In the darkness, every sound was magnified. A shutter banged, a branch cracked. Fear was no longer a knot. It was a cold presence in the room. The power flickered, then died, plunging him into darkness. Lightning flashed, revealing his own frightened reflection. Was this the man who had faced so much before? The storm outside was immense, but another storm raged inside him. Doubt and loneliness. The house shook again. He gripped his chair. He thought about running, but there was nowhere to go. He could let fear swallow him, or he could face it. He took a deep breath, tasting rain and electricity. The storm was immense, but he was still here. The house was still standing. In the deepest darkness, a void where sight offers no comfort, Arthur remembered a candle, a simple, unassuming gift from his granddaughter, a beacon from brighter days. Finding it felt like a journey, a quest into the unknown corners of his own home. It was a journey through a strange, treacherous home, now rendered unfamiliar by the oppressive dark. He fumbled through the kitchen drawer, a chaotic jumble of forgotten utensils and misplaced tools, hands shaking, betraying his age and the anxiety that gnawed at him, until at last he found the candle and matches. a small victory in the face of encroaching despair. The first match fizzled out, a fleeting spark swallowed by the darkness, a momentary surge of hope dashed against the rocks of reality. But the second held, a tiny flame stubbornly clinging to life, a testament to the enduring power of hope. He lit the candle, carefully shielding the fragile flame from the drafts that snaked through the old house, a small golden light pushing back the shadows, carving out a sanctuary in the overwhelming black. It didn't stop the storm raging outside, the wind howling like a banshee, but it changed everything within the small circle of its light. The light danced, a lively flickering presence, casting warm shadows that softened the harsh edges of the room. It was proof that even in overwhelming darkness, when fear and uncertainty reigned supreme, a single point of light could exist, a beacon of hope refusing to be extinguished. He carried the candle back to his chair, his movements slow and deliberate, his small light leading the way, guiding him through the darkness that threatened to consume him. The fear was still there, a lurking presence in the corners of the room, but it no longer controlled the room, no longer held dominion over his spirit. The candlelight gave him something to focus on, a tangible source of warmth and reassurance, a point of stability in a world that felt increasingly chaotic. The flame bent and swayed, dancing to the rhythm of the storm, but never went out, never succumbed to the darkness that surrounded it. It was resilient, a tiny spark of defiance against the overwhelming power of the storm, persistent, a reminder that even the smallest light can endure. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's not about being impervious to the darkness. Courage is lighting a candle, striking that match, and daring to ignite a flame. When all you see is darkness, when the shadows seem to stretch on forever. It's the act of creating your own light, of finding that inner spark and nurturing it, no matter how small, no matter how insignificant it may seem. Arthur watched the flame, mesmerized by its dance, feeling a shift inside, a subtle but profound change in his perspective. The storm raged, a furious tempest of wind and rain, but he had found his own small victory, a personal triumph over the encroaching darkness. He would not let the storm, with all its fury, put out his light, his small but defiant beacon of hope. Morning came slowly, the storm ending with a long sigh. Silence settled, broken only by dripping water. Arthur awoke in his chair. The candle burned out. He opened the shutters to a wounded world, fallen branches, ruined garden, debris everywhere. It was devastation but also survival. The sun broke through clouds, weak but hopeful. Birds began to sing again. The air smelled fresh and new. The house was still standing. So was Arthur. The storm had taken much, but not everything. He saw not just loss, but the chance for healing. Stepping onto the porch, he breathed in the cool air. The destruction was real, but so was the survival. Cleanup would be hard, but he felt a quiet purpose. The storm had passed. The darkness lifted. He had faced the worst and was still here. The calm after the storm is a space for reflection and new strength. We all have storms, some don't come with wind and rain. Sometimes it's a phone call in the night, a doctor's voice, a lost job, or a broken relationship. These are life's hurricanes shaking our foundations. They leave us feeling small and alone. Our personal storms rage inside us. Fear, grief, confusion. Like Arthur, we find ourselves surrounded by the noise of our own worries. The what-ifs become a howling wind. We wonder if we're about to break. The truth, storms are part of life. You can't build a life so strong that no tragedy will ever find you. We all live in the path of potential hurricanes. These struggles change our lives, sometimes leaving devastation. But the storm is not the end of the story. The story is about what we do when the wind dies down. It's about finding the courage to start rebuilding piece by piece. When life's winds howl, we all need an anchor. An anchor doesn't stop the storm, but it holds you steady. For Arthur, it was memories, love, and survival. For us, anchors can be values, faith, family, or resilience. Finding your anchor means asking, what truly matters to me? It's the small light in the darkness. The storm is something happening to you. It's not who you are. Your anchor reminds you of your worth when the storm tries to convince you otherwise. Holding on takes effort. One breath, one task at a time. Believe in the sunrise, even in the darkest night. Like Arthur gripping his chair, hold tight. The storm will test you, but your anchor keeps you in place. You will endure. No one is meant to weather a storm alone. After the storm, Arthur's neighbor Maria brought coffee and quiet company. Others came to help clear branches and check on each other. The storm that isolated them now brought them together. When we face our own storms, we often hide, but isolation is the storm's ally. Reaching out is strength, not weakness. Kindness is the shelter we build for each other. It's a phone call, a meal, or simply sitting with someone in their darkness. These small acts create a safe space for healing. We must also be the shelter for others. Offer a place to rest, a quiet presence. We're all in this together. By building a community of kindness, no one faces the hurricane alone. The storm is a powerful teacher. It strips away the non-essential, showing us what matters most. When the wind howls, we care about safety and love, not possessions. The storm forces clarity, rearranges priorities. True strength isn't about never breaking, but about bending and healing. Strength is found in the quiet determination to repair and replant. The storm also teaches gratitude. After the storm, simple things: sunshine, birdsong, a cup of coffee, feel miraculous. The storm reminds us to appreciate ordinary days. Most importantly, every storm passes. In the night it feels endless, but the sun does rise. This is true for all struggles. No storm lasts forever. There will be calm. Holding on to this hope helps us endure. The dawn always comes. The story of a storm isn't just about the darkness, the wind, or the rain. It's about resilience, endurance, and ultimately, the promise of a new beginning. It is about the morning after, the quiet that follows the chaos, the unbroken dawn, a symbol of hope, a testament to the enduring power of light over darkness. The sun rises no matter how dark the night. It's an immutable law of nature, a constant reminder that even in the deepest despair, hope remains. This is the message of hope we must carry. A flame to guide us through the shadows, a beacon to illuminate the path forward, not just for ourselves, but for others as well. Darkness and chaos are temporary. They may feel all-encompassing in the moment, but they are fleeting, transient states. The dawn is a promise of renewal, of opportunity, of a fresh start. A chance to learn, to grow, and to become stronger. You will face storms, this is certain. Life is full of challenges, trials, and tribulations. It is how we navigate these storms that defines us. When fear is a cold presence, when anxiety grips you tight and the darkness seems impenetrable, remember Arthur and his candle. Remember the power of a single small light to pierce the darkness. Find your own small light. Discover what ignites your spirit, what brings you comfort, what reminds you of your strength, memory, person belief, or stubborn hope. Hold on to whatever anchors you, whatever gives you the strength to keep going. Nurture it, protect it, let it guide you. Let it illuminate your path, even when you can't see the destination. Look for the helpers and be one yourself. Extend a hand, offer a kind word, be a source of support for those around you. The shelter we provide each other is our strongest defense. Together, we can weather any storm. Kindness and compassion can save someone. A simple act of empathy can make all the difference in another person's life. We are all connected, weathering the same unpredictable climate. We are not alone in our struggles. Our strength is in standing together. In unity, we find resilience. When your storm comes, find your anchor, light your candle, reach out. Seek connection, find solace, and remember your inner strength. Know the storm will pass, the sun will rise. A new day will come, and you will be there to greet it. You will witness the beauty of the dawn, the promise of a fresh start. You will be stronger, wiser, and more grateful. The storms of life refine us, teach us, and make us appreciate the light all the more. And you will be ready to rebuild, ready to create a new foundation, a stronger future, filled with hope and resilience.